Hello, this is Mark Werwath. I wanted to share with you some thoughts about the Kia EV6. It's a vehicle that, frankly, I think very highly of. I've owned it for the last 4 years. It's been a fantastic electric vehicle for me. It surpasses in many ways what Tesla has to offer with the Model Y. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why would I want to look at a Kia? Why would I even sing the praises of a Kia? I assure you, if you looked at Kia 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or even 5 years ago, I would say today, 2026, it's a largely different company, providing a very compelling product line, designs that are compelling, products that have a high quality. Even the dealership experience is far superior to what it used to be. So a lot of things have changed at Kia. If you've looked at them and discarded them in the past, give them another shot, give them a try, see for yourself if you think I might be right or wrong. And also think about how far other Korean products have come, not just Hyundai and Genesis, which are, superb cars, but also Samsung and LG. And just look around your house to say, well, how many appliances and products do you have that are Korean in nature, right? Everything from your smartphone to your television set to your refrigerator, no doubt has probably got Korean origins and Korean branding on it. So what I want to do in this video is compare as objectively as I can. Trust me, I understand that I am a EV6 owner, and this, might say I've got the thumb on the scale. And this analysis is a few years old, 2 or 3 years old. So I acknowledge that out of the chute, but I do want to compare side by side. Differences, some might be minor, some might be major for you, and I guess you'll have to decide. But consider the Kia EV6. A lot of people say the only substantive electric car in America that's worth looking at is the Tesla, and I would disagree. I think Kia, Hyundai, Genesis, and even some of the newer, Japanese products are now starting to compete very well against Tesla, both the Model 3 and the Model Y. So let's take the Model Y and compare that because they're both roughly SUVs. They both have kind of that higher stance and that larger profile. In terms of the Tesla, right? The Tesla has no satellite radio receiver option such as Sirius XM, which I'm a big fan of. I love it. Having an application on your screen that you push the button on basically requires that you operate Sirius through your data plan on your phone, which I wasn't, interested in doing. I wanted a separate receiver, and also there's some added features that come with that. Um, Kia does have more torque, 446 foot-pounds versus Tesla's 384. Along with that comes higher horsepower. Tesla has no vehicle to load, which I thought for me was an essential feature that Tesla for some reason overlooks. The ability to back up your house and to get 120 volts AC out of the car and into whatever setting you're in. It could be camping, it could be on the road, it could be doing office work in the backseat of your car, it could be backup power for your home, which is exactly how I use it. There's connections on both the interior and exterior for Kia, while Tesla has neither. Tesla has no indigenous V2L vehicle to load capability. Tesla is built on a 400 volt architecture, which was great in its day, but EV6 has an 800 volt architecture. That allows it to charge at 350 kilowatts, which is substantially faster than Tesla's 250 kilowatts, which means when you're sitting there charging on the road, instead of 30, 40 minutes, it could be 20 to 25 minutes to get from 20, let's say 20% to 80% or 20% to 90%, right? No ventilated seats, which if you like, air conditioned seats, guess what? Tesla doesn't have it. Kia does, both passenger and driver. Tesla has no augmented reality satellite navigation. Tesla has an 8-year warranty on the battery and the drivetrain, which is great, but EV6 actually has a 10-year warranty. Tesla has a 4-year bumper to bumper. Kia has a 5-year bumper to bumper. Tesla's back seats do not recline. Tesla has no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Tesla does not have a damped suspension system, so it tends to have a very rough, jerky ride, and people complain about it. There are kits, and you can buy these kits. A couple $1,000s, you can upgrade the ride quality on the Tesla. No need to on the Kia. The Kia has damped suspension, so it's a very comfortable ride. No automatic rear hatch closing, which is a very nice feature. Push the button and the hatch closes or even opens on its own. Tesla charges extra for certain colors. The base price is only for the one color. I think it's typically white. 2K for any additional paint or any different color other than white. Kia does not do that. Kia's got some very nice colors. Yeah, Tesla charges extra for different interior colors. This is where I think Kia might be missing the boat. There is no white interior option. So if you are in love with that, I'd say go to Tesla and they'll take care of you. If you're in the back seat, you know how important air vents are on the A and B pillars on the EV6, then they're much more comfortable for the passenger. Meanwhile, for Tesla, they don't have this. So you're going to have to rely on whatever's coming from the front of the car, effectively the dash. There's adjustable air vents on the dash that are manually adjustable. You don't need to use software. The EV6 has that feature, and Tesla does not, right? Lumbar adjustment for passenger seat is not available on Tesla, so only the driver gets the lumbar adjustment. On the Kia EV6, both driver and passenger have that. The glove box again on the Tesla requires software. You have to go through the screens. You can simply push a button, the same button you would expect it to be right there on the glove box, right? So in many ways, the EV6 is a blend of new technology where it needs to be, with haptic displays and very sophisticated controls, but also some traditional controls like the wipers, the horn, the locks, the windows, the glove box, even opening the front hood. Those are normal, buttons and levers that you would expect to be in the traditional spots in a car, right? Um, there's no auto relaxation seat feature on Tesla, but there is on the Kia. If you look at service, right, Kia has about almost 780, 775 dealerships. Each one of them has a service bay and service centers. Tesla only has 120, but this is dated. It could be far better than this now. One advantage I think Tesla has is they can come to you if necessary, but you do have to book that pretty much in advance. The Kia EV6 platform is shared with Hyundai, so in many ways, a Hyundai trained mechanic can also theoretically, right, work on a Kia because they're fundamentally the same platform. Um, Tesla has 1,700 superchargers, CCS, which is the standard that Kia uses and other car companies use, has more than 2,300 stations. So from a supercharger perspective, the beauty is we're sitting here in 2026. Every Kia can now use the Tesla superchargers. So you're now well over 4,000 superchargers across the country, whether it's from Tesla or it's from what we call Electrify America. Those are available, all of them are available to the Kia EV6 today, right? Um, Insurance is substantially cheaper. The EV6 was 1,300 per year. CarEdge was claiming that the Tesla would be closer to 2,000 per year. I suspect since I put this together that probably both prices have gone up. I suspect the Tesla has gone up even more. Um, Tesla doesn't tint the side glass, right? Tesla doesn't provide a driver display, which is a separate display right in front of the driver, right behind the steering wheel. They don't do that, right? Kia EV6 and most other car companies have both a driver display and a side display. Tesla puts everything on the side display, right? Which, yes, you can do an upgrade to the Tesla. You can buy a separate accessory. They call these driver displays that can be wired in, third party. And yes, they work. And, I guess they can be made to look good. But for Kia, they ship with the driver display built in. Okay. So you're not wanting anything when you get the Kia EV6, right? Tesla tires are hard to get because they're not really normal or traditional sizes. The wheels, et cetera, are not normal sizes. A lot of them are low profile, which means you have a very stiff ride, a very rough ride, and they're also more expensive, and they don't necessarily have all-weather versions, et cetera. So there will be, or there has been, probably more than 1 million Tesla Model Ys built, while Kia in general is lagging far behind, with probably a couple 100,000 Tesla, Kia EV6s built in the world to compete with the Tesla Model Y. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's not a commodity, right? There's only one factory. I believe it's in Incheon, Korea. And so in a sense, it's a highly automated, roboticized factory. The Koreans know how to build this thing. It's almost a hands-off process at this point. And yes, it's a limited production. There's not as many of them. I don't think that means that it's higher resale value. Frankly, I think the Kia EV6 might be one of the best used car deals in the market today because frankly, what I paid 50 or 55,000 for could probably be purchased for 30,000 or less today. So it's a great deal. And with that, I want to thank you for your time. I do hope this was informative. I just want to open the door to the idea that yes, Tesla makes a great vehicle, and they make multiple great vehicles. The Model 3 is perhaps one of the most reliable vehicles on the road today. There's many others. There's lots of other choices out there. Don't get stuck thinking, well, I don't like Tesla, so I can't get an EV. You can not like Tesla and still have a very good EV experience. Trust me. Give Kia a chance, give Hyundai a chance, give Genesis a chance. They share platforms. A lot of what I said here about Kia is common with Hyundai and Genesis as well. So with that, I want to thank you all.